Picture waking up to a vision so ridiculous it only occurs in a fever dream. A neon orange sport utility vehicle stuck in a wooden maze. Its dry woman in a screaming yellow jumpsuit slamming on the windows, screaming like she's acting out an horror movie. Meanwhile, my grandfather Henry sways peacefully on the porch drinking coffee. Like this is just another Tuesday. To grasp the way Grandpa Henry transformed our neighborhood's reigning fear into the town's largest punchline. We have to turn back 3 months to when Pamela bulldozed up to our ranch gate with a clipboard and a grudge that could spoil milk. Leave a comment regarding where you're reading from and whether you've ever encountered an HOA tyrant like this, because what's about to happen is going to spiral into pandemonium, crazier than a Texas twister. I'm Lucas Bennett, 23, residing on the Bennett Ranch, a 47-acre piece of Texas hill country, just outside of Millbrook. Our family's been here since 1962, long before cookie-cutter subdivisions and their HOAs sprouted up with rolling pastures, a weathered red barn, and a house my great-grandfather built by hand. The ranch is our legacy. My dad Nathan runs it. Now that Grandpa Henry, a retired civil engineer, has stepped back, life was idyllic until Pamela Voss screeched into our world that Tuesday morning I was helping Dad mend fence post. When brakes squealed and a car door slammed like a clap of thunder, an obnoxious orange SUV pulled up to our gate, and out stepped Pamela, wearing like a warning sign in a yellow jumpsuit so bright that it could pilot ships and fog her phony designer glasses sitting on a nose honed by contempt, and her brunette hair held fast with so much hairspray that it could withstand a hurricane-defied gravity. Sprinkling gaudy trinkets, she held an orange clipboard like a general holding a battle plan on Pamelon, president of the Crest View Heights HOA, with complete power to enforce community norms. She stated as if speaking to a conquered people. Dad, stunned, handled a courteous, "Ma'am, this is the Bennett Ranch. We date back before your HOA by decades." But Pamela wasn't here for reason. Brandishing her clipboard, she began a diatribe about our transgressions. Our natural wood fence, too rustic. The barn's red paint, too boldly obtrusive. Our trusty John Deere tractor, an eyesore. Our mailbox, 2 and 2 tall. Our gravel driveway, the wrong shade. Our oak trees casting intrusive shadows. And our chickens clucking, a public nuisance. She even complained about our roof tiles and truck parking. Dad explained our grandfathered rights. But Pamela cackled a sound like a cat caught in a blender. "Sweetheart, I don't care if your farm's older than dirt. The law is the law, and I'm here to enforce it." Her sneer at Little Farm dripped with contempt. Grandpa Henry materialized on the porch, coffee cup in hand. His worn jeans and cowboy boots, a stark contrast to Pamela's neon attack. His engineer's trained eyes sharpened after 40 years constructing bridges, and skyscrapers surveyed her with unsettling composure. Pamela ran it through on oblivious passing, Dad a folder full of regulations and a 7-day deadline. Comply, her face, $500 per day, fines per violation, don't even try to fight. She smirked my legal teams unstoppable as her orange SUV screeched out blasting pop music. Grandpa placed his mug on the table, gently. A slow, menacing grin crept across his face, the kind which once broke unsolvable engineering problems. Pamela had just awakened a sleeping bear. We attempted to placate her, repainting the fence in desert dust, tan a hue so colorless it could lull a rock into sleep. Dad hoped obedience would scare her off wrong. Pamela came daily at 9 a.m., her SUV parked exactly at our property line, camera and clipboard in hand. Nitpicking all day one, she said the tan was a shade-off day. 2 visibility of the tractor, broke equipment display rules. Day 3, she measured grass blades with a ruler calling them a quarter too tall. Grandpa, meanwhile, was recording her every step, arrival times. Grievances, even her infinitesimal procession of yellow clothing from jumpsuits to bedazzled boots. Dad grew tense, snapping at Mom and me, while Mom fretted over impending fines. Family meetings grew argumentative, Dad insisting on a lawyer, but Grandpa, unruffled, said, "Patience, son. The best defense is a calculated offense." Pamela in tow with Andy, carrying a professional camera to document our sins, measuring fence angles and analyzing paint like a crazy CSI. She sat parked for hours, binoculars stuck to her face as if we were operating a cartel. Her cousin Eddie joined as her dockman expert, taking pictures in a too-tight suit, both yelling legal threats just over our property line. Dad finally lost it, yelling at them until Grandpa calmed him, in facing Pamela alone. Grandpa's subdued confidence unsettled her downstairs. I caught him drawing blueprints, his workbench covered in exact diagrams. "What's this?" I asked him, and he grinned. "Occasionally you fix a problem by coming at it from the side." He worked late into the night, his chuckles suggesting something big. Monday brought Pamela in a red power suit, her hair a towering monstrosity, flanked by two legal assistant cousins and ill-fitting blazers. She imposed a $5,000 fine for willful infractions, menacing a skinny, if unpaid dad, Blue referring to it as extortion, while Pamela recorded deeming him guilty of hostile behaviors. Grandpa intervened, steering Dad inside, then confronted Pamela. "Are you sure you want to play this game with me?" he asked, his tone gentle but laced with steel. Pamela laughed. "Old man, I've got the HOA board in Texas law behind me." Grandpa's smile grew cold. "Did you say you don't reside in Crestview Heights? Your address is a dilapidated apartment 15 miles from here?" Pamela's expression turned to ice, but she recovered, screeching about her associations and threatening to bulldoze our ranch as she drove away. Grandpa's pleasure was evident in the basement. He pored over survey maps and legal papers, blueprints becoming more complex. He called old acquaintance, city planners, surveyors, attorneys, using 4 decades of influence. Delivery trucks pulled up with just-cut lumber brackets and hardware. As Grandpa started odd property sections of work, began meticulous every angle with surveying equipment, but the pattern didn't make sense. Until later, Pamela, paranoid, brought security, 2 cousins, Carl and Joey and Camo, lounging in a beat-up truck with rebel flag stickers daily. 9 to 11 parked left for nail appointments, and came back until 4. Grandpa tracked it, all recording her blind spots and parking spot. His drainage work centered suspiciously close to her SUV parking panels, designed to interlock at awkward angles. Pamela taped his every step, accusing him of psychological warfare. But since he was on our property, she was helpless. Neighbors mobilized in silence. Old man Clarence contributed tools, and HOA Secretary Ellen, tired of Pamela, leaked her plots. Pamela retained a sleazy attorney, Victor Hayes, whose strip mall office yelled "ambulance chaser." They delivered a restraining order to stop Grandpa's work, but he presented permit surveys and dismantles Victor's wobbly arguments. Pamela had the sheriff called, claiming illegal building, but Deputy Mark Evans, a family member of the tribe, laughed at the compliant arrangement, complimenting Grandpa's handiwork. Pamela's meltdown was monumental, alleging conspiracy on Mark's part. Grandpa hinted to Mark that the project would be completed in 24 hours, his tone implying a grand unveil. Pamela, frustrated, parked her SUV to block our gate, threatening to remain until Grandpa dismantled it all and paid $15,000 in fines. That night he worked late, completing plans at dawn. Grandpa commanded a team of seasoned carpenters, unloading tagged panels. I stood on the porch, coffee cup in hand, as they constructed a maze around Pamela's SUV by 9. She was too engrossed on her phone, calling reporters, officials. Annio noticed the maze, materializing panels, clicking into a geometric trap, 6 feet high, with convoluted corridors enclosing her. When she glanced up, panic struck her. SUV was trapped, engine revving uselessly. Horn blaring, she yelled threats, but Grandpa walked over, coffee mug in hand. "Miss Vaughn didn't know you parked in our construction area. How inconsiderate." His mock concern struck a glint of victory. Neighbors, reporters, and news teams converged, jaws agape, at the mazier, legal, masterful trap constructed on Pamela's predictable parking. Deputy Mark stopped laughing. All panels were on our property. Her entrapment, her fault. Pamela's cries attracted an audience. Her SUV, an orange prisoner in Grandpa's work of art. Reporters descended, and Grandpa played humble, just fixing up my property. Didn't know she'd park here. The maze ignited a firestorm. Ellen uncovered Pamela's scam-forged documents, $50,000. Stolen through phony contracts, channeled through her cousin's businesses. Detective Laura Hayes arrested Pamela during interview, cuff snapping, as cameras rolled. Her shock was cinematic, her rants about conspiracies dismissed. Grandpa later confessed. He'd suspected her crimes early, her belligerence a cover. He'd collaborated with Ellen and Mark, using the maze to divert her attention. While evidence was gathering, Pamela pleaded guilty, received 3 years, and owed restitution. The HOA purged, reversed her fines, and thanked us. Grandpa retained the maze, now at Crestview Memorial Garden, a tourist attraction. He drinks coffee every day overlooking his creation. 40 years of engineering schooling. In Patience, he explains the maze serves as testament wisdom and foresight. Flatten little tyrants, I'm returned to ranch life but now counsel others battling. HOAs, here's to mazes, justice, and outwitting bullies.